I think that's this color right here. Hottest shade of pink, but done lighter. Entirely. And this is what our wig is looking like. Hello, we're doing something stupid again today. Except it's actually really hot shit and I'm about to blow your mind. I love hearing your suggestions about what color I should try next or what I should do in general when it comes to a beauty transformation. And I got this comment that I'm trying to figure out what they meant by it. Please try doing a rose gold or an ION Rose Quartz, please. I've been trying to get that color for more than 5 years and it never came close. What the hell is ION Rose Quartz? Okay, so initially I genuinely thought this was a gem, except the only thing that's coming up is hair colors. In particular, the hottest shade of pink possible. Now in my books, this would typically be called a rose gold, except apparently it does differ from rose gold. And from what I could see, it has a slightly pinker as well as more pearlescent tone than a traditional rose, which can read a tiny bit more orange or coral. If this is a traditional rose gold color, ION Rose Quartz is actually similar to this. Today I'm going to show you how to do it on your hair. Now, so the very first tool that we're actually going to need is a bucket. Wait, that can't be right. No, that is right, because I'm not dyeing it on my own hair today. I'm dyeing it on a wig. The first thing I'm going to tell you about this color and rose gold in particular is that you need to start with a very, very, very light base. If you're going for a rose gold color, because the color does have a bit of warmth orange in it, your hair could read a tiny bit more brassy, a tiny bit more orange, and you can make it work. But ION Rose Quartz does read just true, very gentle pink mixed with the tiniest hint of lavender. So bleach white is a must. As much as I want to blow your brains out by bleaching my own hair and dyeing it this gorgeous color of pink, today I'm going to keep it super, super simple and teach you how to get this color when the starting base is literally the easiest you could possibly have. We're not going to be breaking our brains with some intense formulation. We're literally just going to go direct from base to dye. As much as I am an absolute avid fan of semi-permanent dyes, recently you'll have seen me reach a bunch more for my permanent color line, and there's a very particular reason why I'm doing that in this case scenario. Fun fact, pastel hair colors, light hair colors, baby colors, whatever you want to call them, they fade very quickly from the hair. If you're bleaching your own hair, even if you're starting with a white-based wig, that hair is porous. Porous literally means that the hair is basically open. It's going to get in the color, but it's also going to push it the heck out the minute you start washing it. Semi-permanent, as you've heard me say a lot, it literally just stains the hair. The problem with that when it comes to pastels is that it fades super, super, super quickly. If you want this hair color, but you want it out super quickly, like you've got a job and you want it literally for like 2 weeks and that's it, go with semi-permanent. But if you, like me, like a bit of longevity in your hair colors, permanent is going to be the way to go. Now, the biggest problem that permanent colors give us is, firstly, they tend to be a bit boring. Most permanent hair color ranges only ever stick to naturals. Now, I know you guys love them and everything, but I do love a bit of fun excitement when it comes to colors. And my favorite type of coloring is not this intense type. We're over this. We're not 12 anymore. We want subtle, mature, but still colorful shading in our hair. Closest range that we've got to that is this. This is Schwazkopf's pearlescent range, but most permanent color ranges will have something similar. And these two colors are the ones that we're going to want to focus on. A deeper, cool berry red/purple, also known as dark blonde magenta, which I think is wildly the wrong name for it. If someone wants to hire me at Schwazkopf at their coloring lab, hit me up. And the little baby version of that same exact shade, but done lighter, pastel candy. Now that is a fucking name. These two colors are going to get us kind of in the right ballpark, except the color ION Rose Quartz does feature the slightest hint of cool. It's not like pink. It's not baby pink. The color isn't called baby pink. It's actually got a slight shift onto a cooler base. Very, very, very gently, 9529. Except I'm also asking you to trust the process. These colors are fully permanent hair colors. You can actually apply these on not bleached hair. But today we're going to pastel and science the out of them, because I'm about to teach you probably the coolest way to get a pastel hair color effect with not a pastel hair color. And the first thing we're going to need is still the tub. Hello to the slightly less attractive part of my studio. There's a plug here and it's ugly, but I can't do anything about it. I'm gonna teach you how to formulate. When it comes to pastels, you have a much better opportunity to stain your hair instead of dyeing it. It'll give you a faster application and more even as opposed to dyeing it manually. That is why we are starting with a level 6. Normally a level 6 is going to be way too intense a color, but we're only using a little tiny bit of it. Specifically 10 grams. Then we're going to grab its baby sister and go in with 10 grams of 9589. This is the same color, just lighter. And finally, we need something to cool it down. So I have the 9529, but that was pretty blue, like that was intensely blue. So we're only going to be putting 5 grams of this. We're mixing a ratio of 2:1. 10 grams of level 6, 10 grams of level 9, and then 5 grams of the blue level 9. Look at this. Next, we're going to grab our developer. Normally, I would tell you to go for 10 volume because we're only depositing, right? Because it's a light base. Except in this case, I really do want the dye to penetrate. We need this to last, and 20 volume is going to give us a bit more kick into the hair. 1.5 as much developer as I did dye. 25 grams of dye means 37.5 grams of 20 volume developer. Paintbrush, now whisk this all together until it's literally completely, entirely mixed together. But look at how cute that color actually is. Smooth, even consistency, completely blended. Oh. Now here's where it's gonna get interesting. Dip your dye into the water or else fill it up with water from your basin, sink or whatever and start mixing it into the water. We need to get this as runny as possible in a small batch before we dump it into the large vat of water. So it starts becoming way runnier, but still a smooth consistency. Until you can just dump it in entirely. Now before I put my wig in, I am going to just make sure that all the dye is broken up and submerged in the water. There's no lumps, there's nothing except colored purple water. It is in fact purple. And now we're going to take our wig and dunk it in the water completely. Now you can obviously do this on a wig or extensions yourself. Today I'm using my canvas blonde wig that you can get directly from my website if you want to get this color yourself. But you can actually do this on yourself. Instead of the vat of water, mix up the dye exactly like how I mixed it up, but then start diluting it a bunch with hot water. Not boiling water, just hot water. And then apply it on your own hair very quickly. You're gonna need to be super quick and super dominant with your moves. This thing is going to start processing immediately, and the faster you get it all over your hair, the better. Think of it like a very quick acting conditioning treatment mask. You're gonna need to coat it everywhere on your hair until it's literally soaked. Why am I showing you the ugly side of this vat? Oh my god. Now this thing is literally purple, the wig on the inside, and I'm literally going to time it to see how quick it actually oxidizes before I need to take it out. But so far, we are already looking more lavender. It is 8:08. I'm going to leave it for around 5 to 10 minutes and check in on it because we're going for a super light color. But I need to wash my bowls. Give it a bit of a break. It's been 5-ish minutes. Definitely starting to look a bit pinker. We're now getting to that rose gold stage, but I really wanted to take on a bit more of a pink/lavender color. I'm making sure that the color is applying evenly to ensure that I get a nice even coating. It's almost been exactly 30 minutes. And this is what our wig is looking like now. I'm still seeing a tiny bit of yellow throughout it, and I kind of don't want that. So let's see if we can fix this somehow. Okay, wig is done. I'm gonna go wash it, but I'm not gonna invite you with me because I'll have to move the camera and I'm lazy. Oh, wrong video, wrong video. Give me a sec. I present to you Rose ION Quartz. Holy mama, you're so pretty! So this is what the hair is looking like now. I just let it completely air dry. But now I want to give it some cute styles because this color looks so whimsical that I think I want to give it some little baby curls. I don't think this camera is doing it justice. I think it's overexposed the tiniest bit. And I promise you, she's too gorgeous to be overexposed. You ain't gotta tell her, it's just in my nature. Did I cut myself? Is this why hairdressing is so dangerous? Self-inflicted wounds? You ain't gotta tell me, it's just in my nature. Take it like you take it. I have a really fun event coming up over the next 2 weeks, and I'm contemplating taking this wig with me. She looks so good. She's so pretty. I got my curling iron ready, and it's actually not a curling iron, it's a straightener slash curling iron, and I'm setting it on like a pretty low heat because anytime we have bright vivid colors, go with low heat, because if you put it high, you will literally burn the pigment off the hair. Try it. I think I want to give it Utah curls, similar to what I did for the Soft Nordic Blonde. I thought the end look of that wig was so cute, and I think I want to try that. Oh, yes, I am wearing Mouclair. Thank you for asking. I will show you how to do Utah curls with a straightener. Straightener curls were probably one of the very first thing that every single hair creator ever taught on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, but I'm still seeing so many people get so baffled by this concept of curling your hair with a straightener. Love curling hair with a straightener because I find it the easiest out of every single curling method. Like, do not ask me to curl hair with a Dyson because I've no idea how to do it, but I know how to do it with a straightener, and I know every single person has a straightener. Here's a brush. Start by brushing out the hair. Here's a secret for Utah curls. Take a very small section. I'm saying small. I'm saying like this amount, right? Like relatively small. Open your straightener. In this case, most likely your straightener is already open. In my case, you have to open it. Clamp it at the top, and you're gonna twist it. But you're gonna keep it aimed down. We're not doing this, we're doing this, right? So we're aiming it down. You're gonna give it one full rotation, and then you're gonna pull it down, right? We're pulling it down, all the way down. The next section we're gonna take, we're gonna curl it the opposite way. So before we're curling away, now we're going to go towards. It's just wrist action. Practice this. Like, imagine being on a motorbike, a metaphorical motorbike, and you're doing this to the throttle. This is kind of the movement you want to learn. One full rotation, pull all the way down relatively slowly, but continuously until we have this. If your curl is looking a bit too flat, because that's how Utah curls look, they're a bit flat, but you want it a bit more, give it a slightly more intentional curl. And that kind of makes it more awake. The opposite way. Clamp, full rotation, pull down. Woohoo! Obviously, as you get in faster, the two movements of clamping, aiming down, and rotating all kind of fall in one movement. And then I like to give it a little twist, and this kind of reinforces the curl's shape. The biggest secret to this look is small sections, very small sections. We're actually not going for big and bouncy, we're going for small and tight. Final thing that you should be left with is this kind of very skinny wrinklety effect with each curl going in a different direction. The ends should also look pretty straight with just the gentlest wave in them. It shouldn't look like a tight curl or bouncing upwards. Repeat, baby. The one good thing about wigs is that there's literal guidelines for where you should part the hair. Initially, I used to hate it because it meant I always had to follow the rules, but now I've come to love how organized a wig actually is to style. Look at me smiling at my phone. My social media manager. So cute. Wait, now I'm going to watch a video about America's greatest epidemic.
The driving force of that was just chasing the drug. How am I going to get it? You know, to have something I can't have it like them, right? And wherever I may fall.
This reading.
Because it's
Not.
I mean, household.
The safest.
I don't know. I'm kind of undecided whether I go in with oil and smooth it out and give it a bit of a more tame appearance, or else go in with salt spray and give it more of a tousled, beachy look. But I think I'm going to start with oil just to get rid of some frizz. And I'll break up some of these curls, but still try to keep it a bit piecey. I like to kind of squish the oil into the ends because that's where it always looks a bit dry. I think I am going to give it just a little daintiest little spritz of salt spray because I like this. It looks beachy. It looks fun. And I kind of wish to retain it. Moment of truth. Rose ION Quartz hair. Also known as the cutest shade of pink ever. I can now totally see why you guys wanted me to try this or why you wanted a formulation for it, because this color is probably one of the ones that ends up looking so flattering and so good and so holistic on so many different types of skin types. Pinks do tend to be hair colors that are universally flattering across the board, whether you are rosy cheeked, warmer toned, lighter skin tone, or even darker skin tone. This color just tends to be universally flattering. It's also hella cute. She's so cute. The only thing that I'm thinking is that maybe it's a hair too light, straight from the root. As I was doing this video, I actually also ended up creating a second wig, this time with a darker root. Something that could be a bit more realistic for someone with darker or deeper complexions, or even just in general. Having roots on a wig or even on your own hair is always a bit of a dead giveaway that it might be your own hair. It's roots growing out. I mean, duh, doesn't this look like real hair? Rooted. I actually ended up putting ash into the root formula, which kind of turned the rest of it a bit lavender. I don't know, I kind of vibe with it. I think it might be a bit more orchid. I don't know. But obviously this is such a cool one, and I love a bit of an ombre. I love when there is a bit of a discrepancy, usually between roots and ends, but even sometimes if it's like all light and then there's something on the ends. So there, now you know how to do the most gorgeous Rose ION Quartz hair color, or as I like to call it, petal pink. Everything will be linked down below. But if you don't want to go through all of the trouble of mixing up the color, or if you don't currently have bleached hair for you to try this on, I'm going to be selling both of these wigs as well, in case you want to grab them and have them readily made for you. Both wigs are now live on stellarihair.com. They're going to be part of my permanent collection on the site. So if you want them, I made them for you. It's so hot. It's genuinely so hot. I'm having a hard time deciding which one I like. But rooted one definitely has something fun about it. I want to know. What do you guys think? Ah, she's so cute. Guys, don't kill me. I accidentally published the wigs on the website prior to this video launching, and without advertising it to literally anyone or any email marketing or social media or anything, they sold out. The petal pink officially sold out. So far, there's still the rooted, and I made another petal pink but curly. that's still available, but the official is petal pink. And I made multiple of these. They all already sold out. I don't know how you guys are on the website without me telling you anything. But thank you. I hope it's someone that actually does watch my videos a lot. But I will be restocking them. They're going to be part of my permanent collection. I'm just sorry. But the rooted ones and the curly one is still available. Go buy it. Bye.